What's happening, everybody? It's your main man, Mark Fuller, Free World Order. Another video archive. This is going to be a quick one. Before I get started, I want to thank everyone who has been supporting the YouTube channel, the Facebook page for the Free World Order, engaging, with your comments and your feedback on my posts. I really appreciate that. We need a lot more of that to go on. So those of you that have been dialoguing with me on social media, please continue to do so. And if you're new to the channel and new to these videos, be sure to ask questions, post your comments, put your replies, put your thoughts and ideas, your arguments, whatever you disagree with. I want you to put that up also so that we can open up the dialogue and really just, go into these subjects further to gain a clearer understanding of what we need to do as human beings to change our world for the better and make the world a beautiful place for everyone to live, not just some of us. The idea behind capitalism, free market enterprise, it's really designed to only keep a few people, those that really are ambitious and, motivated by greed. This is the concept of capitalism, to keep people that are motivated by greed to create and produce that which the consumers want to buy, to purchase, to pay for. It's such a ridiculous idea at its core. It seems to work because you see things, you see cars, you see houses, you see lifestyles that people are able to live. But if you actually look across the spectrum of the entire world, the picture's not the same. And that's the problem. The problem is not the good that you see. The problem is the bad that you don't see. Let me get into this. Let me rephrase. Is raising the minimum wage a solution to poverty? That'll be the subject of this video. I'm going to be brief, not going to be too long-winded. Is raising the minimum wage a solution to poverty? The answer to that, in my opinion, hell no. And I'm going to tell you why. They think that raising the minimum wage is going to put more people in a position to buy more things, to have more disposable income. It's not going to happen, because what happens is when you do things like raise wages, the businesses that these people work for, people that are earning the minimum wage, are ultimately going to have to absorb that cost, that additional cost, the increase in the wages, or they're going to pass that on to someone else. We already know that they're going to pass that on to someone else. They're going to pass it on to consumers. And who are the consumers? The consumers are the same people that are earning wages at jobs. In addition to everyone else in the economy that may be on a fixed income, like people collecting disability benefits or social security benefits, or, any type of income from an entitlement program. These people are on a fixed income. So they represent a portion of the consumer base that will buy all of the stuff that companies are manufacturing and producing. People that are in the workforce represent the people that are going to benefit from a raise in the minimum wage. However, the same way that you're now forcing these companies and businesses to pay people more money, they're going to raise their prices on their goods and services, or somehow someone is going to be raising the prices of things that people need. Your rent is not secure. There's no guarantee that the amount of rent that you pay is going to be locked in. Your landlord is basically he or she reserves the right to raise your rent at will. There's no law that keeps the rent at a certain level so that you can continue to afford to pay that rent. So you're earning more money through a higher minimum wage. But what happens when your landlord decides to raise the rent? What happens when the cable companies decide to raise their cost for services? What happens when the supermarkets decide to raise their prices? You see? So the money that you're now earning as an increase in the minimum wage, you're now spending more money because stuff is going to go up in price. It's as simple as that. It's not even a question of whether or not it's going to go up. We already know this. So inside of a consumer capitalistic economy, it is impossible for you to increase wages or anything for that matter without increasing the prices, because that's what capitalism is based on. It's based on expansion. If they're, just for example, if they're building a lot of houses, where they're getting the money from to build houses, they're getting the money from the banks. So now when they build these new houses, they need people to buy the houses. Who's buying the houses? Banks are going to lend people money to buy the houses. You see, this is how the economy expands. But in addition to it expanded, it also contracts. This is how you have boom and bust. And this cycle just repeats itself over and over again. So you have times and periods of time where it seems like, oh, well, the economy is doing great. You know, people have jobs, people are working, this, that, and the third. When you actually look at the entire spectrum, it's always a misconception of what is actually going on. What you call a great economy is simply a bubble not bursting yet. There's a bubble that's building up somewhere. Sometimes it'll be in housing. Sometimes it might be in the stock market. Wherever that bubble is, eventually it's going to burst. And when it bursts, that's when you have crisis. That's when you have people losing jobs. That's when you have companies laying off workers. And this cycle just repeats itself over and over again. It's nonsense. And this is exactly why a resource-based system is the only alternative that makes sense, because it's outside of the paradigm of capitalism and the monetary system. You all have to realize that these systems, not only do they not work, and when I say not work, they don't work for the majority of people. They don't work. So people are left to basically be put into a dream state where you're always imagining the American dream. You always have this thing in your imagination where, you know, one day I want a house. One day I'd like to drive a luxury car. But it maintains, or it stays a dream, because the system is not designed for you to really ever achieve those things. And people that do achieve those things, they're doing something that other people either are not willing to do or have not discovered will work inside of the system yet. And once people discover that this right here can be done, then you have a situation where now that part of the economy or that niche is now saturated because too many people are doing it. Too many people discovered it. And now you have too many people doing it at the same time. Then it becomes, and it has no value after that. And this just repeats itself over and over again. It's not a solution to anything. So raising the minimum wage, no, it is not a solution to poverty at all. Nothing that you do inside of capitalism and within this monetary system is going to be a solution. I don't care if you handed people money in the street. If you just gave out, you know, $500,000 to every person, it ain't going to work. The system is not designed mathematically for that. So eventually that money is going to make its way to the top of the system. And the people at the top of the system are a few. It's not, I mean, just think about it. It's a pyramid. The structure of it is a pyramid. It's the same structure that you see inside of any corporation, the same structure that you see inside of the actual political structure. Same thing. It's a pyramid. It's a hierarchy. So resource-based economy, we don't have that problem because every person is provided for utilizing the resources of our planet distributed in a way where there's abundance for everyone. So no one is lacking anything. No one is in a position where they have to ask anyone for anything. Everyone is provided for. That is the only solution. You're not going to have any other solution using any other system. I don't care what the system is. Capitalism ain't it. You understand? None of the isms. None of the isms will work. On that note, I'm out. Mark Fuller, Free World Order. Make sure that you guys support us. If you believe in the concepts and the ideas that I bring through these videos and on this platform with the Free World Order, make sure that you support us. We're looking to raise $1 billion so that we can actually build the first resource-based city that will serve as the blueprint for future cities. Once we do it once, that's all we need. We'll prove to the whole world, not just to the United States, but to the world, that intelligently using the resources of our planet is the only option. Y'all don't really want peace. You don't really want to stop war because you're not sharing and making things available to people. That's the problem. Oh, well, people are lazy and they won't work if you just give them things for free. Yes, they will, because people will actually do the things that they enjoy doing. No one's going to sit around and not do shit just because they are well fed and well taken care of. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. And once we build that first city, you guys watch and mark my word. People realize, and they're going to realize, that that's going to be the only alternative to the bullshit that we have now. It's not a perfect system. Nothing is perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than what we have now. On that note, I'm out. Mark Fuller, signing off. You guys make sure that you support us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. And get yourself a monthly contribution plan. You can start with $1, $5, whatever it is that you want to get started with. You know, reach out to me directly if you need to. And definitely, you know, we welcome your feedback, your comments, your suggestions, and all of that. All right, Mark Fuller signing off. You guys take care. Peace and love. God bless. Deuce.